Today we salute you, former Budweiser drinkers of America. Together, you've sworn to never drink another drop of Bud Light or any other beer from Anheuser-Busch.
Ancient history.
Sure, it might taste like piss from a hamster, but it gave us a cheap buzz.
Oh!
And a cheap buzz is exactly what we've needed over the last 2 years.
You said it, brother.
So while there might be a tear in your beer and a hole in your heart, hold your heads high and know that today is a new day and there's other beers in the sea.
What is going on, everybody? Wired here. I hope you guys are all having an excellent, wonderful day. It is Mother's Day right now, so I hope you're all spending it with your mothers, celebrating your mothers. For all you mothers out there, big shout out to you. You were the backbone of our society, and we could not do it without you. Now, I'm back into the whole Bud Light controversy. I took a little break from it yesterday. There wasn't a whole lot of news about it. But Bud Light has gotten more disparaging news, this time from the corporate world. While we've seen a lot of boycotts from TikTok, and we've seen the whole stock tank pretty much regionally across the entire United States, now the stock has suffered a downgrade just weeks after the Dylan Mulvaney fallout. We're going to get into the article here, but yeah, this is not looking good. People are sick of this, and they're calling this a conservative boycott. I don't think it's so much a conservative boycott. As I've said over and over, I think conservatives, moderates, even sensible leftists are sick of this stuff being shoved down our throats constantly. Everywhere you look, every company is trying to align with this to get woke points and stuff like this. But Bud Light is really in a controversial situation, because then they came out, they disavowed Mulvaney. And you're not allowed to do that, because now everyone they've tried to gain as stock options, they've lost. And it's not going to win any of the people who stop drinking their beer back. And the whole problem with this is, beers are kind of a dime a dozen. I really, I'm not a beer connoisseur or anything like that, but I don't think one beer ever tastes all that much different from another beer. People can just drink another one. And I think the bigger issue here is there's a negative stigma now if you go out to a bar. Even if you just go to your local distributor, you get a case of Bud Light. Now there's a negative connotation now with just walking out with that. People are going to look at you cross-eyed. They're going to look at you funny. They're going to be like, oh, okay, really? That's what you support? Stuff like that. So I don't see this getting any better for Bud Light in the future. But let's read a little bit here. We'll catch up a little bit on this and see exactly what this means for parent company Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light sales have dwindled, and its stock has been downgraded in a continuing fallout since the popular beer ran a promotion with trans influencer Lord Voldemort. I probably shouldn't use that name. It's going to get me shadow banned on YouTube, but I know I already did, so I'll do the Voldemort thing. Parent company Anheuser-Busch InBev sold $71.5 million worth of Bud Light in the week ending April 29, a 23% drop compared to a year ago, according to data from Bump Williams Consulting. Budweiser sales totaled $31.5 million that same week, down roughly 11%, the firm said. Sales of other Anheuser-Busch brands, including Michelob Ultra, Busch Light, and Natural Light, have also taken a huge hit. And yeah, there's now a negative connotation around this. And like I said, if this boycott, which has probably been the most successful boycott in years, keeps rolling on as it did, it's only going to get worse. Distributors, bars, clubs, places who regularly stock this beer will not stock it anymore if it's not going to sell. That's just the truth of it. And as this gets more mainstream, I know it's pretty mainstream now, but I think there's still some people, and probably everybody knows about it by now, I think it's only going to get worse. And even if it just falls off right here and they lose 27%, it's going to keep affecting their market base because people will not stock this product as much anymore. People won't put it on their shelves. They're not going to put it in their clubs. They're not going to put it in their bars. So it's only going to get worse if it stays at the same rate it's going, which it does seem like it is. I know originally they were saying, oh, you should actually buy this stock. You should buy Anheuser-Busch because this boycott's not going to last. But we are, let me see here. It started April 1st. We're, I don't know, like 45 days into this right now. 45 days of the Bud Light boycott, and things have not improved for them at all. In fact, they've gotten much, much worse. It seems like every week they're getting worse. Mulvaney, a San Diego-based trans rights activist and actress, posted an Instagram video April 1st, yada, 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 sponsoring the beer brand. We all know that. Post sparked outrage from conservatives, including singers Kid Rock, Travis Tritt. Calls to a boycott. We all know that as well. That's led Wall Street analysts to call the episode a crisis and downgrade the company's stock to hold. So that's, that's definitely not good in the marketing world. I don't know too much about the stock market. The only thing I really know about it is if Jim Cramer says to do something, you do the complete opposite and you'll make money. That's the only thing I've realized from watching, the stock market, the Dow, the S&P, since my father was into it years and years and years ago when I was a teenager. But yeah, whatever Jim Cramer, that's my investment advice. And don't take that for what it's worth, because I actually don't invest too much money in the stock market. But if Jim Cramer says something, do the opposite. Sorry, that's my little tangent about Jim Cramer. Maybe we'll make a video on him in the future. In a note Thursday, analysts at HSBC said the Budlight sales slump might be worse than reported, and that beverage distributors are considering distancing themselves from the brand. I would say so. I'd say it's about time. The way this Budlight crisis came about a month ago, management's response to it, and the loss of unprecedented volume and brand relevance raises many questions, the analyst wrote. Citing beer marketers' insights, they said the trend of declining beer volumes is worsening and may be down more than 25% in April, while U.S. distributor relations appear to be at an all-time low. It is unclear how ABI will reverse eroding U.S. volume and brand relevance and fix distributors' trust without leadership changes. If I'm going to be completely honest with you here, I really don't know, like their CEO definitely seems out of touch. He's come out here, he's made a very paltry apology. I use air quotes for that because I don't even know if you could really call it that. I don't think it's really an apology. But trying to pass the buck, saying, oh, this isn't really our fault. This was an outside company who somehow got Mulvaney's face on a can. And we didn't tell Mulvaney to make an Instagram post about being partnered with our brand. But in Mulvaney's original post, they definitely do say Bud Light partnership. That is a hashtag they used. Anheuser-Busch didn't immediately respond to a request for comment from CBS Money Watch. I would imagine they probably won't, because it's going to take them 3 to 4 weeks to respond, just like it did when they finally came out and disavowed Mulvaney, because everything they do right now is poison. And although I don't think this boycott will last forever, although, hey, it would be great if it would, because this would really stick it to these woke companies, this does speak to just a growing number of Americans, patriots, saying we're sick of this nonsense. It's enough. We don't want to see identity politics pushed into everything, and we care about our children. But they don't care about our children, obviously. They just want to make money. And this is going to say there's backlash from both sides. It's going to go through, the whole Mulvaney campaign, conservative boycott, influencers speaking out, disavowing Mulvaney, all this type of stuff we already know. And also Miller Lite up 20%, and Keystone Light has grown 14%. Oh my God, that's nuts. I don't know if you ever drink Keystone Light. Keystone Light is not a very good beer. It's just like the cheapest beer, or at least it wasn't when I was in college. It was the cheapest beer we could buy. And we drank it quite a lot if we couldn't afford PBR. But, a long time ago. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for this article here. I just think it's very interesting. I don't know what Anheuser-Busch could possibly do to reverse this. I think any move they make is actually a step in the wrong direction. And silence is a step in the wrong direction. So I'm not a marketing executive. I know nothing about that sort of stuff. But, this is a great example of get woke, go broke. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I hope you guys are all having a very happy Mother's Day. Make sure you spend it with your mom. Buy her some nice flowers or something. Get her a box of chocolates. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Later.